Hello, I'm gonna do a request video about the government shutdown that I got today by Marty McFly. And this will be the first video that I ever uploaded to my YouTube channel. My normal YouTube channel, not my vlog channel, on my cell phone here, so that's chill. So, yeah, I think the government shutdown's a whole bunch of douchebag faggery. Because it puts all of the government people out of work, which makes it so they can't make the money to pay the mortgage and buy the food and stuff. So, now that that's out of the way, that we know that government shutdown is bad, like, shouldn't we turn the government back on? Because, unlike a natural catastrophe, you can actually control government shutdowns because you can turn the government back on because the government is a thing that's controlled by people. And so we should take advantage of that. And so the next step would be to identify which people are the ones in charge of and who are at fault of the government shutdown. So I think I saw like an interview with Donald Trump, our president, talking to, maybe it was Judge Jeanine interview, because that was during the government shutdown or something. And he goes, yeah, it's the dang Democrats who are doing government shutdown because they don't want the wall. And so those poor, Americans, but those Americans who are suffering are good Americans and they understand the government shutdown is necessary. So I think he was saying that he thinks that the government, that he said it was the Democrats' fault because they didn't want the wall. But I would postulate that it is Donald Trump's fault. He's the one who is declaring this national emergency. You know what else he said? He said he's going to do a national emergency because of the wall. And so that's going to make it so that he can get extra funding ready for the wall and get the wall built and all that stuff. So I would say that Donald Trump is the kind of person, is a guy who does whatever it takes to win. Kind of like in his book. I've heard him say stuff like that on The Apprentice. I used to watch The Apprentice, okay? I was a big fan of The Apprentice. I think it was on in Chile, and I watched it in Chile or something like that. But yeah, like season 1 and stuff. But yeah, he's just like ruthless businessman guy. And so it's the government shutdown is the fault of Donald Trump, okay? It's not the fault of the other ones, of the Democrats. All the way until Donald Trump came, people did politics in a consensus way, voting on stuff, following the rules, respecting the limits of your power of your office, understanding the 3 branches of government and why we do that, and limits of power. And Donald Trump has never, demonstrated he understands that. So he's just doing this kind of like a kid breaking rules and having temper tantrum, doing whatever it takes to win. So they shut the government shutdown, and they've done it before. So it's not just the government. It's not just Donald Trump. It's the Republicans and anybody who supports Donald Trump. But Donald Trump's the worst, so that's why we've had the longest government shutdown. So what we need to do is, in order to fix government shutdown, is we need to everybody needs to realize what Donald Trump is. He's not a Democrat. He's a tyrant. And a national emergency is supposed to be for an emergency, like some kind of a natural catastrophe or something like that, or an army or war, not because all of a sudden a bunch of racists freak out. and go, oh my God, what did we elect? What did they elect? Brown people? Oh no, too many brown people. A catastrophe, emergency. So extra. No, 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 no. That's the sign of a person trying to make themselves king. Okay, trying to take too much power. And look at the Brett Kavanaugh thing. You're pointing him; he's a bad guy, and then they just push him through anyway. So yeah, so what in order to fix government shutdown, we need to kick Trumpy out. Okay, let's just kick out the Republican Party and vote for the Democrats. The Democrats have managed to transform themselves. We've got a bunch of new Democrats in who didn't get in with the PAC money, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez and others, and so as if we get Bernie Sanders or somebody like that as running for president, you go for the Democrat at full force, and that's what I did last time. I went for Hillary Clinton last time. So and then there's no more government shutdown, and then hopefully we'll realize that we all respect our power and we vote on stuff and we keep the government going. And one funny thing that Donald Trump said was it was in his interview with Judge Jeanine, I think. He goes, "Yeah, people, they're just I don't understand them complaining about me not letting anybody see my meeting with Putin. I mean, anybody can watch the whole meeting. It's right there." And I was like, wow, that's a lie. Anybody can't just go in and watch his entire meeting with Putin. So, and Janine's like, yeah. So there's a certain segment of our population that I guess they're the conservative, rich, money, discrepancy loving, upper crust, older, white people, mostly white people who are kind of suddenly have gone crazy and are breaking the law. And at the same time, people who are younger are kind of having more integrity and realizing what that money really has been controlling where people vote. I was watching something. One more thing, really quickly. I was watching something on the internet the other day. Interviews from soldiers, and it was in like 1970, and somebody was like, "Yeah, man," some soldier, young guy, 20 years old, was like, "Yeah, the government, man, they just send these poor people out to fight their wars, and then they make the money off the war." He's saying the same thing, and here we are. So, but now we have the internet, So that's how I think the best way to get the government switched back on. And I think it's Trump's fault. Okay, peace out.